Hello and welcome to episode 51 of Out of State DMing podcast. Yay! I'm your host, LuksBlackheart, and join me today are my co-hosts, Bacon and LadyCelt. We will be
Hey,
finish. We will be making attempts to finish talking about druid spells. Dun 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 dun. Because we finished up to 4th level. Now we're going to be digging into 5th level. And we're starting off with a somewhat good one, animal growth, where one animal per 2 levels doubles its size. So you can make a horse from a large-sized animal to a huge-sized animal, which means it can carry a lot more. Or you can turn your animal companion that's like a wolf into a pretty much making the same size as a dire wolf. Does nothing says I want the enemies to pay like a wolf roughly the same size as a horse chasing after them. Then we have atonement, where whoever you cast it on, you removes the burden of misdeeds from the subject. So if you upset a god or do something to violate your alignment, so you have penalties because of it. That right there fixes the problem for you. So unless something else from a third party blocks you, uh, you can have alignment things fixed. Then here's a goofy one, Awaken, um, where you can target a animal or technically a tree, and it gains human level of intellect. So it's like they can gain one language, their wisdom, charisma, and intelligence all gets re-rolled as if they're doing proper mental statistics. I say it's goofy because I've never seen it be used for anything other than how do we want to annoy people in this general area. There's nothing says what's going to happen with the Duke when trees start speaking to people as they go to cut them down. Here's one that Bacon might like: baleful polymorph.
there ain't no might like that is that is a great way to troll people.
Transform subject into harmless animal. Keyword harmless.
Congrats, you're a toad.
Yeah, a non-toxic, non-venomous toad. Because there's toads out there that have poison glands that shoot stuff out of their back, like the cane toad. So it's not going to be one of those toads. It's just going to be a normal, little, harmless toad. Uh, so that is another goofy, fun one. It's also a monkey wrench in a lot of people's plans, while it's the player casting it on the main bad guy, or the main bad guy looking at a annoying player and going, baleful polymorph. It's also
Con- Congrats, you're a bird. Tweet,
uh,
tweet, motherfucker.
it's also a great way to get people to rage quit and leave the table, because I've seen that happen more than once. That it's one of those spells that no matter what, it's considered always okay if the players use it, but the moment the DM uses it, it's considered bad, wrong, and just super messed up. It's like, no, it's there to be used, so it's going to be used. Next, we have Call Lightning Storm. Just like with Call Lightning, this cannot be used indoors. So if you're in a dungeon, in a cave, or in a building, the spell is not going to work for you. So you actually have to be outside. But it's a decent storms, and it works similar to Call Lightning, but it does 5 die 6 damage per lightning bolt instead of 3 die 6. So it is pretty much, it is pretty much just a better version of Call Lightning, mainly because you're calling a storm. So great way to electrocute people. Commune with nature. This has I forgot the actual casting time, but what it does is you learn about the terrain, and the distance is 1 mile per level. So the higher level you are, the more information you get. If it's an unnatural structure, it kind of is like a blank spot, which means you know that wasn't just there because nature wanted it. Someone put a building there. You don't know what the building is because it's just kind of this blank spot, but you can know like how many creatures are inside of a area. How many are like monstrous, carnivorous? How many are just game like deer? Uh, Mineral deposits that are close to the surface. What plant life's in the area? And it's also a great way to go, is there a grove in this area? Give me time to cast this spell. I don't want us to walk into a druid's grove or a fairy circle and end up in the Fey realm pissing people off because we're not supposed to be there.
You mean to tell me I can go play with the fairies?
If you get unlucky, yeah.
I don't know if that's really unlucky.
It's a roll of the dice for what Fey you're running across. If you're lucky, it's something that's not going to, make you regret living. If you're unlucky,
I'm not gonna lie, my mind kind of went to the gutter just now, and
go ahead, look at
my
the fuck lady and tell her she's beautiful. You're getting speeches tonight.
all I can, all I can think is fairy cocksleeve. I can't see your facial expression, Jacob, but I know it's priceless. Huh?
Thank you for the visual. Special place for
Whew.
I'm
Yes, there is.
you, but still.
I'm definitely going to hell. There's no questioning that. I'm well aware of what I've done.
But moving on. Control weather.
Oh yes, I can make it rain. It'll be romantic.
You could make it rain. Yeah. Then there's.
So now, okay, so very very actual legitimate question here with control weather.
Okay.
It is only affecting directly the weather. So like, say it's nighttime, you can't be like, oh, it's a sunny day all of a sudden.
No, it doesn't fast forward or rewind time. Control weather.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
I
that's
don't want this storm to be here. I want it to go away. Or
right. So using it
cloudy day.
right. So being like, oh, I want a clear sky. It would. If it's nighttime, obviously you'd have a clear moonlit night.
Yeah, you can use that for that.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was actually a legitimate question. I wasn't I wasn't taking that one out of context.
If you want a nice sunny day, clear sunny day at night, you need to have someone cast daylight because it's like, hey, there's a sun-like orb
Right, right.
And you get rid of those clouds. Turn the night for a little bit.
Right. Okay. Yeah, no, just so basically, you turn into a Storm from the X-Men.
Pretty much. When I said control weather, this is how you can tell that you kind of derailed the brain a little bit. It was supposed to be control wind.
Wow, look at you.
Straight for another word.
That's insanity.
We're talking about me here. But control wind lets you change direction and speed. So it's great for sailing ships. or if you just really, really want to get rid of a gas in the area, like a fog or a mist,
Right.
or there's some sort of toxic gas floating around and killing stuff, you can blow it away from where you're at. So to cast fart kill, I mean cloud kill, someone can use that to shove it into the direction.
Gotcha.
Then we got cure critical wounds, which works as like the fourth level. It's a fifth level spell for druids, so that's still a great one. Then we have Death Ward. I personally love Death Ward. Does grant immunity to all death spells and negative energy effects. That if you don't consider that a good thing, then I don't know what's a good thing. Good thing then, because being able to look at a lich and go, haha, you can't insta kill me or hit me with negative energy things. Suck it, Jabek. Uh, Cause that's a great way to just make an undead not happy, because a lot of their stuff is considered negative energy effects. Here's another good one. It works like Conscious Grade. It's Hallow. You designate a location as holy, so it works for that. But I think like it works for a longer period of time and affects a slightly bigger area, which is clerics can also cast that spell. Just like how clerics would, but you're coming from a druid standpoint. Uh, Here's one that I've only actually in like my 20 plus years of doing 3.5. I've only like maybe 3 times. Insect Plague. It's a locust swarms attacks creatures. So it's literally you're conjuring up a swarm of bugs to harass people, which can be.
So can it be any bugs or?
Well, it says under brief description locusts.
Okay.
When we get
Because I know some.
the spell itself, we better clarify if it has to be just locusts or if it could be spiders or ants or a lot of people's personal favorite, roaches.
Oh my god, that would just kill your mom on sight.
Yeah.
Like
And now you know why I love the
there'd be all
spell.
the roaches.
Begone,
Been trying to give the woman a heart attack for years. I've never succeeded.
Well, not locusts, but begone, roaches. Or you could be funny and get a roach and cast a giant insect on it. That's always funny. The next spell is a defensive spell, Stone Skin. You pretty much get a hardness of 10 points. So you actually shrug off a decent amount of damage per hit. That's a good one. Transmute mud to rock. Which is pretty much you transform 2 10-foot cubes per level of mud into rock. And then there's also transmute rock to mud, which is pretty much just the first one.
Out of curiosity, with turning mud to rock, are you able to determine the shape of the rock?
No, you can't shape it. What it does is, if you're going through an extremely muddy area that's giving slippery conditions, stopping people from running because it's considered hazardous, or it's just like a few feet of mud. Because there's sometimes with ground saturation, if the water and earth mixes just right, it's pretty much just as you're walking through muddy goo. You can turn it to stone, which makes it so you can now traverse it a lot easier because it's stone, uh, which can help in marshes and wetlands. Another thing that can be done is if you're in a stony area, you can turn rock to mud. So you can start a landslide if you wanted to because you just hit an area of part of like a mountain or some sort of ledge. It turns to mud, therefore the weight loses integrity and starts to fall down. Or you can technically use it to just create a hard to move through muddy area. And if you do it correctly, you can end up then hitting mud to rock and you can trap creatures. Does the term cement boots that like the mafia used to use, like they put your feet in buckets of cement and then toss you off a bridge, you can technically use those two spells to do that.
That's meant to be great for if there's an army charging in
Yeah, it's like
conditions, you could mire their horses real quick.
yeah, because if things are moving greatly towards you, you can do everything you can to make sure it's like there's as much mud on the field as possible. Quickly turn it to rock, and any feet that are stuck in it, at minimum, going to immediately trip everyone. And then as they're getting up, trying to regroup from that there, you turn it back to mud, which causes them to slippery and stuff because it's now legit mud, not just quasi mud. And as long as you have a bunch of them cast, you can rinse and repeat to just completely demoralize people because they're going to get so flustered, so pissed off, and at the same time so panicked that they're not going to be able to cooperate easily because the ground won't stay a solid thing. So is it mud? Is it rock? And technically they start getting mud and stuff like under their feet and stuff. So when it turns to rock, it has a better grip on this, like tripping them and stuff. So you can just annoy people with it. No, I totally have not done that before. The next spell is a good one. It's a transportation spell. Tree stride. Step from one tree to another far away. Both trees have to be the same type, so you can't go from a pine tree to an oak tree. It's a pine tree to a pine tree, an oak tree to an oak tree. I can't remember off the top of my head the exact distance, but I know that the far away it is. So you can use that to either quickly catch up or to get away from creatures in a forest because you just walk into one tree and pop out another one and they can't follow you unless they know where you're going, which is not as easy as people make it sound. Then we have unhollow, which is the reverse of hollow. It makes unordinary. The next spell is Wall of Fire. Because, yes, let's give the whole we gotta protect nature and not, burn down trees and start brush fires. Let's give them yet another fire spell. Which, as much as I love the fact they give them decent spells, but here's another fire spell for the nature lover. Because that's a great way to, in the middle of the
I mean, to be fair, the only way to cleanse disease in nature is to burn it with fire. So, I mean, it's not technically wrong.
Yeah. It's like if you're doing that context on using it to remove and or stop diseases from spreading and stuff, yeah, it makes sense. It's logical sense. It's one of the easiest ways to make sure a bunch of diseased trees don't spread that disease is by purging it with fire. But just if people would actually do that in the tabletop games, just they're like, I have fire spell. We're in a forest. I cast the fire spell. It's an AoE effect that effect that does decent damage, and you're in the forest, and you're lighting the forest on fire, and you're a druid. Why are you burning down the forest? Because there's bad guys.
That's because they didn't see Smokey the Bear when they were little. They don't.
Fucking Yogi didn't come and stop me enough.
Now, oh God, that gives me a stupid idea. Anytime a player is going to do something that's going to start a fire, whether it be a brush fire or forest fire, a random bear pops out of nowhere wearing a hat, slaps them, causing them to not be able to cast the spell, points at them and says, "Only you can stop forest fires," and then just runs off and disappears. Time they go to do it. What is that? It's the mystical don't start forest bear. I mean, don't start forest bears. Don't stop don't start forest fires bear. It slaps you whenever you do.
It's okay. Words are hard. I understand.
Words are hard. I swear. I took my medicine. The last 5th level spell is Wall of Thorns. And it damages anyone who tries to pass through it. So it doesn't... it's not a physical wall of, oh, I stop you. It's a physical wall of, it can slow them down a little bit because it counts as hindering terrain, but while also take a lot of damage. Just kind of fire doesn't stop things from going through it. It just damages things that are trying to go through it. It works in the same way. There.
What is science?
Raw science. I think I know what someone's doing. This 5th level spell. Now we can go into some of the 6th level spells. Some of these a certain person may like because they're funny. Like Anti-Life Shell. It's a 10-foot range.
All right, listen. Just because I had this.
Yeah, that's a I don't want to be touched by my allies. Get away from me spell.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no square. Bubble.
Exactly. It's also a great way to auto figure out if something's a living creature or not, because undead and constructs are not affected by this spell because they are not living creatures. The next couple of spells are mass spells, which means they target more than one person. Is Bull Strength, Bear's Endurance, Cat's Grace, and Owl's Wisdom. They work just like these single target versions with +4 to the corresponding stat, but it's mass, so you get to, when you want to have everyone getting more hit points because of higher con, you can target one person a level with mass Bear's Endurance, so everyone gets +4 to con. Or if you want people to be able to pass will saving throws or actually have decent spot checks, you can do Mass Owl's Wisdom, because that's a +4 to their Wisdom score. So that's always good. They also get Mass Cure Light Wounds, which works just like the 1st level spell, Cure Light Wounds, but it's the Mass version, which is another repeat of a Cleric spell, but they get it 1 level later. Here's another good one. Greater Dispel Magic. Functions just like normal Dispel Magic, but your bonus being, instead of capped out at 10, it goes up, it caps out at 20. So it's another really good one for getting rid of spell effects and just trying to help people out. Or piss off the enemy.
Really? I needed help with that?
You know.
When was the last time I needed help pissing off the enemy? Microwave oven.
It just happens because you're alive.
I mean, I am a problem for anybody that's in my way.
Exactly. The next spell that it's a really good spell for what it does, but the lack of people who use it irritate me, especially when they'll spend like 2 to 3 hours arguing about where to go, what's the quickest, easiest way to get there, instead of actually going it. When all you have to do is have access to this 6th level spell, and a lot of people who like to use arguments are always people who technically could get access to the spell, but they never really want to do it. Find the path.
Kel, can you hear him?
Can you hear me?
You're like you cut in
I
and
can
out
hear
real
you.
bad there.
Yeah, for a
I
minute there
noticed
it
my
was
camera
kind of
went
iffy.
to loading. That's not a good sign at all. It obviously did not want me to finish that sentence. But like I was saying, a spell that stops bickering, arguing, and stops people from wasting game time trying to figure out the best ways to get to a location. Find the path. Because you cast this spell.
Wait a second, you son of a bitch. There was a spell for that all along.
Yes. Druids get access to it as a 6th level spell. Which means there's
What
a
the
certain shaman that, once he got access to these spells, could have been able to take it.
Yeah. We never made it that far though.
Unfortunately, no. Like I said, you cast it and you specifically have a set location in place. It can't be something like, I cast find the path to this person or this item. It shows, it's to a certain location, like the dragon's lair, the hideout of the main bad guy. It has to be something like that in order to actually work. So it can't be super general. It's like, where's this person? Where's this object? It's where's this it's how do I get to this location? And you roughly know how far away it is, simply because it points you in the most direct way to get there, and also go off of how long the spells and on how long that's going to take you. You can estimate how far away and stuff it is. So it's a really good spell that a lot of people there's only been a few people that have actually gone, that spell does what? So it's just not an item that lets you functionally use that spell. That's how
Right.
I fell in love with it. Next spell is a generally good one. Fire Seeds. It lets you turn acorns into grenades and berries into bombs. So if you're in an area where you have trees that produce acorns, you can collect a bunch of them, cast fire seeds, and you have actual grenades. You collect a bunch of berries, and bombs. The bombs can actually be in an area. You can't go super far away from it. It stays in the area, so that way, man, you can actually have functioning pressure being to set off. It's you going, you waiting in the area, and you so great way to PTSD.
Give them PTSD with berries.
Yeah. Next spell is possibly one of my favorite druid spells because of what it does. Iron.
Hey, that's me in the morning.
You cast it on a wooden object, and it makes it as strong as steel. So you can take like a wooden practice sword, cast it on it, and now it behaves as if it was a steel sword. I mean, it's blunt, so you're doing blunt damage to him, but it's now functions as steel. You can also make full plate out of wood, and then cast this on it, and now you have full plate armor that's made out of wood, which means a druid can wear it. So it's a great way to get around certain loopholes or restrictions by simply going, hey, you can't do stuff with this unless it's specifically this. To go, oh, I'm just using wooden stuff. Ironwood. It's still wood. It just behaves like steel. So it's a great spell. Here's another really good one. Live Oak. You hit an oak, and it becomes a tree ant guardian. So that is right there a pretty good spell for protecting an area. And it's like, the spell stays active for a 1 day a level, so higher level you are, the longer it lasts. But you know an area is protected for a little bit, because if like a bad guy approaches the area, the Treant Guardian animates itself and goes to town. The next spell is another good one, but also not really used, because people think that, oh, I can bury stuff alive with it. When the spell goes, nope, you can't actually harm creatures with it. Move Earth. You can dig trenches with it and build walls with it, so you actually have the dirt walls. It doesn't move stone. You can't use it to move anything. If there's a creature or a something in the infected zone, the earth moves that way, so that way it's kind of like elevated, but it does not cover stuff up. So it's a great way for an evil druid to help out a friendly necromancer at the graveyard, moving all the dirt over the caskets, revealing all the bodies they can get, and then once they retrieve the bodies, they can then move all the dirt back to where it was to make it easier to rebury and or just not have to actually stress about being caught, because they're using Move Earth to uncover and then recover the casket. So that's another good one. Repel Wood. That spell has several, but it's a spell that I've never actually seen people use, because if you cast it, you can push wood in doors, tables, chairs, benches. It's a real good way to clear room so you can have a bar fight, and or just irritate someone. Instead of flinging the table at them, you repel wood, launching the table at them with more force.
So if I put out a lot of like little toothpicks, I could turn myself into a grenade.
Pretty much by repelling the toothpicks, because they're made out of wood away from you. So it does have.
So okay, so here's a direct question then. If you were to take that wood and say, like toothpicks for example, and put metal tips on them, coated with poison.
Yes. Because metal,
I think I'm going to be a
the metal, it's attached to the wood, therefore it's subject to being repelled. Just how arrows and bolts are made out of wood, and they're subject to being repelled also. So you don't even have to go as small as get toothpicks, carefully make sure they have the metal tips on them. You can just hold a bunch of arrows or bolts on repel wood, and they'll just scatter in that direction. It may not.
Yes, but let's be realistic here. It's a lot easier to conceal toothpicks.
It is. I'm not gonna lie, it is. But it's
I think I'm going to be a good.
it's a great way to just mess with people because
Didn't even break a sweat.
cover when we go over the spell itself, but it is a great way to just. Oh, I don't want you standing next to me shooting your bow. Repel wood. Oh, your arrows are going that way with with or without your quiver, and your bow's also going in that direction. So, begone, archer. You can also run up and protect the enemy archers too. It also works on like if someone has an axe. 9 out of 10 times, the entire shaft, what being a great axe, is made out of wood. Use repel wood, and suddenly their weapon they're trying to brutally kill you with goes flying out of their hand at minimum. So it's a great way to auto-disarm things. Because if there's wood in it, it gets repelled.
Gotta hydrate to dominate.
Next one is this one you might like. Spell. When you cast this on a quarterstaff, you can take one of the other spells that you have prepared and store it within the staff, so that way you can use the staff to cast it later on. So it can be real helpful any of those spells. And again, when we cover the spell itself later on, the restrictions for it will be revealed. But it is a nice way to store spells without stressing things. Especially if you're going to an area where you force magic users to wear items that stop them from casting spells. Well, if you cast a spell, and if you're like, I gotta get out, I'm using spell staff to cast this into the quarterstaff, so that way when I need it, I just activate the quarterstaff. Because this item that's stopping me from casting spells is stopping my spells, not the staff spells. Here's another good one that a lot of people sleep on. Stone Tell. You can talk to
I don't know.
natural or worked stone. You don't know what?
I was going to say, I don't know why anyone would want that spell.
It's a really good spell. You come across a stone door. Stone Tell. You can talk to the stone to see how recently someone's passed through it. You can get a general description of it. And it's also natural stone, so if you come across a cave built into a mountain, you can cast it on the stone there and get a good guesstimate of what creature may or may not live in that cave. So generally, pretty good.
That would be pretty useful if you come up on a cave and you don't know who's in it or what's in it.
Because like the stone, it's not gonna lie. It's gonna answer with what information it knows. So like the entire knowledge of when was the last time someone went in here, when was the last time someone left. So it's like you can literally get a is anyone home out of it. The next one is transport Viva plants. It's kind of like the tree step spells, but instead of it having to be a tree, it's a plant. So you can literally touch a rose bush, transport from that rose bush to the closest rose bush in an area you want to go to. You can touch the grass, teleport Viva the grass to the closest grass to this location. It can be vines. So like if you know that the main bad guy has a thing for tulips, you can literally go, okay, there's the castle we have to get into. I'm going to touch this tulip plant here, and I'm going to teleport to his tulips. Pop up out of his tulips he has in his castle. It's also a great way to get back home. If you have certain plants at your base, go out far into an area that has those same plants. Just find those plants, touch it, and you can end up going back home viva that. To make sure that it's the same plants. The last 6th level spell is another good one, Wall of Stone. It's literally it's a permanent stone structure. So unlike a lot of other walls that are temporary, it's a permanent structure that the only thing that you have to stress is it grows out of a rock that's there. So you have to carry around pretty much stone discs to toss on the ground to wall stone pop out of, or hope that there's already pre-existing stone there. While it's natural stone or work stone, it needs stone to pretty much grow off of.
So couldn't you just carry around a handful of pebbles and throw out a pebble every time you need it?
Technically, yes. The size and the amount of stone that needs to pre-exist will be able to verify with the spell itself, but it's pretty much just carry around a bunch of small rocks or pebbles. As long as it's stone, you can just throw some of it down, and boom. It can be used to slow down, trap, impede things, and or if you have stone shape, which lets you warp stone, you can use stone shape and stone wall to create a stone structure. So you can literally use those 2 spells to create yourself a stone house. Or if you cast it in both of them enough times, you can build yourself a castle. Literally overnight. Just so it's a good spell. The next list are 7th level spells. And there's not that many of them. The first one is Animate Plants, where one or more plants animate and fight for you. So you can literally, if you're out in the wild, you can have plants literally help you win fights, slow enemies down, or whatnot. Or just irritate people with. So it's a pretty decent spell, but it's also one of the spells that not that many people use. The next spell is something that the only real reason why I've seen it used multiple times has been because I've somewhat pushed people to use it. Change staff. All you need to do is have a staff. It doesn't need to be a magical staff or a special staff. It just has to be a functional staff. You cast a spell on it, and it becomes a treant for you. So if you have
That's pretty damn interesting.
Yeah. So if you have enough staffs and you prep it enough, you can literally toss the staff, hit it with the spell, and boom, treant. Next turn, do it again. Next turn, do it again. So you can have a squad of treants at your command for the duration of the spell. And when they die, they go back to being a staff. So unless someone hits it with a disintegrate, you get the staff back. And it's a really great spell. Yeah, it's 7th level, so you have to get high enough to get access to it. But it's still really, really great. Because you can literally go, here's a treant, deal with that. Yeah. Here's the spell. We already talked about it earlier. Control Weather. That's a 7th level druid spell. And because of my brain fart, not wanting to read, because words are hard.
We can skip that one.
We can skip this one. Next, creeping doom. Swarms of centipedes attack at your command.
You mean to tell me I can shove a centipede up my ass in a swarm?
Okay, maybe not going that far, but you
Possibly.
can have a swarm of centipedes just wreaking havoc. So kind of like the locust swarm. Creeping doom it's centipedes, which means poison is involved. So you can really mess with people that way.
Which means I can have a group of centipedes crawling in my tactical assault centipedes.
Seriously, are you really someone?
If this doesn't get me in trouble on
come on.
What will?
Wait, why are you gonna get in trouble?
In the butt.
What are you gonna get in trouble for?
You wanting to do naughty things with centipedes?
I don't want to do anything naughty with them. I just want to have the ability to conceal them for tactical assaults.
I'd prefer
I'm not
holding, thank you.
Yeah, but they'll die.
Yeah, they'll actually
not necessarily.
They'll suffocate in a bag of holding.
See? So therefore, bag of holding, no. My butthole, they won't suffocate it.
I mean, technically, they get further there too, but yeah, we're moving on.
Less likely.
You
Come on. Why don't you want to have?
I'm so happy I marked not for children whenever I do the uploads.
This one is definitely an SFW. We were talking about some very interesting things, like a certain fairy thing.
To mass cure moderate wounds. So here's another example of a...
See, look it! You even have the spell to heal my butthole afterwards. I'm not going to be a co-host anymore, am I?
You're more entertaining than the original co-host. Firestorm. I hate using that. It's pretty much like it's pretty much similar to Fireball, but it's of course a firestorm. The exact radius of effect will again go over when we cover the exact details of the spell itself. But it is another great fire spell, and another. Just because there's bad guys there doesn't mean you get to get away with starting a forest fire. Here's Yogi the bear slapping you.
Yogi the forest spirit.
The next spell is another example of druids getting a cleric spell, but they cast it one level higher, is heal. So instead of getting it as a 6th level spell like clerics would, they get it as a 7th level spell. Which is still probably one of the best spells ever, because you can heal, restore hit points, remove all diseases, poisons, conditions, stat damage, you just heal it all. So it's a great, I'm just going to keep everyone alive by literally removing all the negative effects. That's a great one.
So you mean to tell me?
No, we're moving on. I know where you're going. Stop.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why am I getting yelled at? I'm trying to ask D&D questions.
If it has anything to do with centipedes and your butt, no.
It's still D&D related. Okay,
People
so
don't get a
moving on.
laugh out of this segment. I don't know what's gonna get them laughing.
You mean to tell me you've never had 1,500 centipedes shoved up your rectum?
No, I would
I
tend
promise
to
you.
avoid any situation in which this is a possibility.
Yeah,
Just so you know, that's what it's like. That's what it feels like to chew 5 gum.
Next spell, uh, Greater Scrying. Says yes, co-host. Druids get access to the scrying spells.
They shouldn't.
Uh,
That's more of a divination thing. That's some bullshit.
Scrying is typically considered a wizard slash sorcerer spell, but just like clerics and druids get it too.
Now, see, that's some hacks.
Yeah,
They shouldn't have it. Take it off of them.
Denied. Boom. Here's another good one. Sunbeam. It's a beam that blinds and does 4d6 damage. So that's a good combat spell because you have it gives you a chance of blinding them while also doing lots of damage. Go ahead.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Okay, good. The next spell is pretty freaking funny because if you have this and ironwood, you can technically get away with certain things. Transmute metal to wood. So if you get a hold of something like a powerful metal object that does to a certain degree, druids can't really do much with metal, and it's to a certain degree because it's all listed. Uh, when you convert it to wood, you bypass that, and you hit ironwood on it, so you can turn steel into wood and then make it as strong as steel. It's also a great way to go. Is this a steel reinforced door? Now it's just
Doesn't matter.
wood. So now it's going to be easier to break because that steel is now wood. You can also do it to like the hinges, and now it's wooden hinges, and therefore you can break them a lot easier. Here's a spell that a lot of people think that a druid shouldn't have. True Seeing. Does giving you
I'm sorry, it's what now?
Yeah, True Seeing. The spell that lets you see all things as they truly are. So therefore you can auto bypass illusions. Any sort of magical, or supernatural effect that would alter something's appearance, like a glamour effect. You just go, oh, you're just a glamour.
So you,
Or
so you mean to tell me you, you mean to tell me you could see the centipedes in my butthole?
Okay, we're moving past the centipedes and your anal fixation.
Actually, this discussion has given me a really unique idea for a druid
I can
with
tell.
some of the spells.
I can tell.
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. I have just figured out how to make what's his name from Naruto? The bug guy.
I don't watch Naruto, so.
Okay, so there's the one dude
Yeah, I've
whose
never
whole
seen it
thing
either.
is he is infested with bugs.
Shino.
Oh, Shino. Anyway, his whole shtick is he uses insects to do his stuff, and I have just figured out how to make them. So thank you. Into D&D.
Oh, there's other ways to do it without having to be a druid.
Yes, but I have found a very interesting way to do it using a druid.
And if you go Child of Winter route, you can double up on bug stuff.
And look at that. I've just improved my ability. Double the centipedes in my butthole.
Well,
Don't leave them there too long, otherwise they will put the butt in butterfly. Oh, that's centipedes, not caterpillars.
did you say
Any case.
centipedes, not caterpillars?
Yeah, I for whatever reason I crossed it over with caterpillar in my mind, and I was thinking, well, don't they turn into butterflies eventually? Never
Well,
mind, they don't.
I mean, that'd be a pretty terrifying looking butterfly.
It would. Hands down, it would be a terrifying.
All I picture is this. All I picture is this giant flying thing with like 100 legs and mandibles that just screeches at you. It's like the stuff of nightmares.
That's what it is. Not necessarily my nightmares, but other people's might not appreciate a flying centipede wanting to be a caterpillar. Because that's not going to go horrifically wrong anytime soon. Okay. The last 7th level spell. Wind Wall. No. Wind Walk. My brain turned walk into wall. You and your allies turn vaporous and travel fast. Which also means too strong of winds can stop you. But you can literally go, I want to be a moving cloud. Woo! So it's another great...
That would be interesting.
It would be interesting.
It would.
Yeah.
Could you use it to, I don't know, if you could make yourself into, could you use it to get down a chimney?
Yes.
Or
yes,
through a window?
It's one of those things that because you're vaporous, anything that's not environmentally sealed, you can technically get into. So if fog, pretty much if not even a fog, if mist can get into the location, you can go, okay, yeah. So cracks or anything like that, you can just immediately get through. So you can get in and out of situations with it. No, we're moving on.
I'm just saying, like, I've got some really.
No.
I can make some really interesting builds with this. I'm going to be a druid.
I need alcohol.
So when you when you become vaporous, right? When you go to end the spell, do you just solidify wherever you're at?
Yes.
Can I cast this on other people too?
It's you and your allies. So yes, multiple creatures can be targeted with Windwalk.
So I can target like, can I target like non-allies with it?
Without going to the spell itself and verifying, I'm assuming yes, but they would most likely get a saving throw.
I will never play anything but druid ever again. I have got so many ideas now. I'm gonna make your life a living hell next campaign.
I would like to remind you that druids are still subject to divine intervention.
You're right, they are. Hopefully my god is as much of a sadist as I am.
Problems.
Divine intervention. Yes, they are.
Because your god knows what you want to do. This isn't the first time you tried to do it, and this god who covers nature, regardless if you believe in him or not, it's going nope, no, not.
No, this god is gonna accept all the love and sacrificial offerings I give him.
And everyone goes, "How's the god stopping?" divine power called ultra reality. So that's not working now. But we're moving on. We have
The
several
god,
amazing 8th level
the,
spells.
the god likes my offerings.
Yeah. We have animal shape.
Might actually, Jacob, it might be a good time to stop as soon
Oh
as you
yeah,
get to
just
the
so
eighth
the
level
time.
spells, because
Yeah.
yeah,
So next Saturday we can finish the 8th level spells and the ninth level spells, which are both lists are actually
I
That
pretty
sounds good.
small.
I will be a little more prepared because I will not have dealt with a baby all week. I he both co-sleeps and he's breastfed and he couldn't co-sleep or breastfeed. So he was really joyful for several days. That's why I wasn't on. I was taking care of my youngest grandbaby because his mom had
oh
surgery.
Yes, because children.
no, I love children.
That makes one of us. But for those
Oh, I love him
who
now that they don't live with me.
here's some sugar. Go have fun. But those
He's
who
too little for that
want
yet, but I'll give him espresso soon enough.
expressive. For all those who watch us, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you next week as we dive into more spells and hopefully not centipede related incidences.
Tactical assault centipedes.